Okay, let's continue our talks on Stoicism, going through the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. We skipped around a little bit, but right now we're in Book 5, Section 6, which I've always found a very interesting section to think about. One sort of person, when he has done a kindness to another, is quick also to chalk up the return due to him. A second is not so quick in that way, but even so he privately thinks of the other as his debtor and is well aware of what he has done. A third sort is, in a way, not even conscious of his action, but is like the vine, which has produced grapes and looks for nothing else once it has borne its own fruit. A horse that has raced, a dog that has tracked, a bee that has made honey, and a man that has done good. None of these know what they have done, but they pass on to the next action, just as the vine passes on to bear grapes again in due season. So you ought to be one of those who, in a sense, are unconscious of the good they do. Yes, he says, but this is precisely what one should be conscious of, because it defines the social being to be aware of his social action, and indeed to want his fellow to be aware of it also. True, but you misunderstand the point I am now making, and for that reason you will fall into one of the first categories I mentioned. They too are misled by some sort of plausible logic. But if you want to follow my meaning, don't fear that this will lead you to any deficiency of social action. Another nice, powerful way Marcus Aurelius is, relatively caustic as he tends to be. Very critical of himself, very critical of people. And I think that's one of the reasons I like Marcus Aurelius so much. He does not pull any punches, including towards himself. He continuously criticizes himself. And the thing is, if you do that in a constructive way, you can make yourself a better person. This is not the same as continuously telling yourself that you're not adequate, because that will make you suffer. But if you can really look at yourself and think, well, where can I improve? What do I need to improve on? How can I make myself a better person? It's a very powerful way to progress in life. What he's saying here is very interesting, right? How many times have you not done something, because I know I have, where you try to help someone out, but you also think, well, now they owe me. Or, well, I do this, but I mainly do this because in the future I might want this person to do such and such for me. And what Marcus Aurelius is saying here is powerful and beautiful and very nice. What you could also do is just do the right thing. Remember that Stoic ethics are virtue ethics. The way you lead your life ethically in a Stoic sense means that you focus on virtue. Doing the right thing, saying the right thing, being courageous, being just, being modest, right, in everything you do. Not too much, not too little. Temperance. And trying to be wise, practical wisdom, making the right decisions. All of that is difficult, but part of that is exactly what he is talking about here, right? Do what you have to do for the sake of doing that thing. So don't do someone a favor, but then expect something in return. This is very difficult. This is very difficult. This is something people struggle with in a lot of relationships, whether it is romantic relationships or friendships, or even work relationships, but I think especially the intense relationships like romantic and friendships, where these kinds of things happen. Yes, but I did this, and now he or she should do that. Because I did this, I am now owed this. It's like a debt that you create, but I have done this, so now you must, etc. But in reality, a person does not have to do any of those things. In reality, a person does not owe you. You've just done something. And you should be doing that thing to help out that person. Because you want to do good. That is part of being virtuous. Not because you want that person to owe you. It's very difficult because we are very much accustomed to thinking about these kinds of matters in those terms. Yes, but I did this, now you owe me that. Yeah, but she did this, now she owes me that. Now, etc., etc. It is difficult, but this is also kind of how our world works. I want to buy this, then I need to give you that amount of money, right? And then you will give me this product. So we are accustomed to that, and that makes it difficult to think about doing things just for the sake of doing those nice things. But if it truly is virtue that you strive to pursue, you have to let go of that idea. You have to do things simply for the act of kindness, simply because you want to do that thing. Hard. Very hard. But once you start to do it, I found it becomes easier. And once you let go of the idea of, well, I have done this, now you owe me that, it does become easier. It's interesting, these stages, right, that Marcus describes. One sort of person, when he has done a kindness, is quick to chalk up the return due to him. A second is not so quick in that way, but even so, he privately thinks of the other as his debtor and is well aware of what he has done. If you continuously strive to be the best version of yourself, which is, as a Stoic, what you should be doing, then you will experience those kinds of events. And you will experience that you can do something nice for someone without asking for anything in return. And, even more importantly, without expecting anything in return. You don't expect anything in return. You just do that thing. And by doing that thing, that nice thing, I think it becomes even more rewarding, because you now do it for the proper reason. Not to get something back in the future, but because you are a genuinely kind person. Let's not get into the issue of, but then people may take advantage of you. Well, people will try to take advantage of you anyway. You know that is how the world works. You get to know people, and you know which people you can trust and which people you cannot trust. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you do something for the sake of doing that kind thing. Very difficult. And even when you think you're doing something just to be kind, then ask yourself, are you really doing it to be kind? Or secretly, is there something that you're trying to get out of this entire situation? I'm willing to bet that in a lot of cases that is just the way it is. Because again, that is what we are so used to. Quid pro quo. You do something and then you get something in return. Right? But you can change that. And you can learn to let go of that idea of something must always be reciprocated. No, it doesn't. I've said that a number of times. The universe it doesn't work that way. It's not a matter of you do this good thing and then you get that good thing. Or if I invest $500 worth of kindness, then I will get $500 of something back. That's not how it works. It's a random process. You can do all the right things, all the good things, and people can still take advantage of you and still be unpleasant to you. So that's how the universe really works. It's just a random process, at least in my mind it is. People are eager to ascribe all sorts of things to things like karma. Well, I did this, and now look at this nice thing happened to me. It must be karma. No, it mustn't. No, it could be, but it mustn't be. That's the argument from ignorance. Well, I don't know what really caused this, so it must be karma. No, maybe it is, maybe it's not. In reality, we just don't know. And in reality, you can do very kind things just to be a good person. Evdaimonia, a rich and fulfilling life, lies within your reach. And doing acts of kindness is part of that. Supporting others, helping others, to the degree that you can, it's a good thing. But let go of the idea that you expect something in return in all of your relationships, and that will help you. I really believe it will help you. Right? So you do that thing. You do that thing to do that good thing, and for no other reason. And if you start to put that into practice, it becomes easier. You can more easily let go of the idea of, but now they owe me. And I think your life will improve. It's not easy. It takes practice. But you can do it. And that's it. I hope this was useful. I hope this has given you some food for thought. And I'll gladly see you again next time.